Well, from outlaws and pioneers to native resistance and relentless ambition, Kevin Costner's The West is an epic new docuseries exploring the real history of the American frontier.
Joining us right now, we have Doris, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, best-selling author, and executive producer of the series. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Glad to be with you.
Yeah, certainly. Doris, maybe we could talk about how this project differs from other stories of the West.
Well, I think what makes this interesting and so much fun for me to have been involved in is that it takes the history of the West from the 1790s to the 1890s, and it tells individual stories so that you get caught up in, for example, a story of Cynthia Ann Parker, who's a young 9-year-old who gets taken away captive by a Native American tribe, lives there until she's 33 years old, marries the chief of the tribe, and then has 3 children. And then her uncle, who'd been looking for her all these years after the raid had taken away her family, finds her, and they bring her back. And sadly, she's lost now. She's lost her family. And then her son becomes a chief of the tribe, and there's fighting that goes on for decades. And it just shows this assimilation, the changes, and each one of the stories has a dramatic element like that. So that's what is really fun about working on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think will surprise viewers the most?
You know, I think what will surprise viewers is that there's so many different elements that you see here. You've got settlers who are coming to have a better life for themselves. You've got soldiers who are coming to conquer land. You've got missionaries who are trying to go out and spread the Christian religion. You've got Native Americans who have had this land for many millions of years, many thousands of years, and who are able to then sometimes have good relationships with the whites, other times not have it so. And you're seeing all these things come together, and it's the expansion of America. We start with a small sliver of land on the East Coast, and then we get the Louisiana Purchase. We get the British giving us land, and then we get the Oregon Territory, and then we get Texas, and finally we get California. And you watch us expanding as a nation, all of which is told in the middle of intimate drama stories about people, which is, I think, what we all want to have is stories.
Yes,
Yeah,
certainly.
totally.
You know, and I think also the American West continues to captivate audiences everywhere, whether it's movies or documentaries. So why do you think that is? What is it that about the American West that is so captivating to the audience?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think partly what it is, it's people trying to make something of a land that is so forbidding. When you think about what they went through to go from the East Coast to the West Coast, you know, when those missionaries went, it was a seven-month trip to go from New York to the Oregon Territory. You're in the middle of heat, you're in the middle of rain, you have wild animals, you've got these covered wagons, and then you keep taking your furniture away because you have to walk certain parts of the land. It's just such a physical I don't know that I ever would have left New York. But the great fun thing for me in working with Kevin Costner on this project was that he knew the West. It was something he'd known since he was 6 years old. He wanted 7 years old, 8 years old. He wanted to know the West. He saw a movie when he was 6, and it had to do with how the West was won, and it had to do with Native Americans. And he saw them, and he got interested in them, and he wanted to be their friend. And then he made all those great movies, Dances with Wolves and Silverado and Wyatt Earp. So he became my teacher in this process, and he became my friend. So it's really been a wonderful experience.
Oh,
Yeah,
it sounds like
my
it.
interest is piqued for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can we watch this series?
Well, it's going to be on the History Channel, and it's going to start on Memorial Day. It'll be 2 hours that night, and then 1 hour a week from then. I think maybe 1 hour the next night, and you'll be able to find it on the History Channel.
History Channel's the place.
History
Great.
Channel.
Thank you so much for
Awesome.
joining us
Yes,
today.
thank
We
you,
appreciate
Doris.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.